Hi, it's Behind the Curtain IMO, and I'm Betsy Jordan. Last week we had the presidential debate, and both sides have been in a spin about what they think happened. Since this is a video of Behind the Curtain, in my opinion, if you have been watching the videos prior to the debate, and if you've been watching them, if you're going to watch them or go back and look at them, you'll see that people who had watched them were prepared with understanding why Vice President Harris responded the way that she did to the questions that were asked. There's much been said to discredit the ABC commentators, but the moderators had been criticized before for not fact-checking things. And so they did fact-check this time. And they didn't have to fact-check Vice President Harris because she wasn't saying things that weren't true. And when the moderator, you'll notice, when they realized that fact-checking was taking people down another tangent, they reined it back in and did not do that over and over and over again. They did that in the early part of the debate. So they're getting criticized by people who didn't want the facts to bear out that their candidate was not telling the truth. And my question then would be, why have a debate if people can just get up there and say whatever they want to say and not be held accountable? I think that's what is missing in today's, back and forth, is that people aren't doing their own research, so they're not sure what is truth and what is fact and what is fiction. Some people think that ABC fired their moderators, but that was a spoof. However, when it has been repeated and sent out over and over and over in other posts, they realize that they think it's the real deal because caveats or the captions or whatever have been removed. So we have to be very careful what we believe and what we don't believe and what we research and what we don't. So that's my first comment about the debate. The other thing about the debate is, of course, I believe that Kamala Harris won that debate, hands down. There were some questions that their team brought up that I felt that she answered well, though perhaps not as thoroughly as I can answer them here, meaning I'm not answering for her, but I'm saying, in my opinion, this is why she said what she said. And in my opinion, this is why she did what she did. So I'm going to address fracking here for a bit. Some of you know that fracking can be an environmental hazard, has been in areas that it's common. So sometimes it pollutes the drinking water. Sometimes it just makes sinkholes appear because it weakens the structure of the land. And so because Vice President Harris has been standing very strongly for climate change legislation and to try to get ahead of this climate changing trend, the overheating of our planet, she was in a dilemma because she also is for energy independence, which was causing us a lot of strife, globally, and Americans having to pay more at the pump. So to try to hold the reins of both horses and hold both horses in the lane, I'm sure that there were some ways that she needed to vote in favor of energy independence that also may have had her compromised in terms of her pure and absolute commitment to climate change mitigation is the word I'm looking for. So that's my opinion. That is why it looks like she changed her mind. I'm not sure she changed her mind about anything. She may not have agreed with things, but she could align with it in order to move forward. That's what a lot of people need to do when they're in decision-making positions. And none of these are easy. All of these are very heavyweight. But one of the things that Donald Trump showed us in that debate was just how unserious a person he is. Kamala's famous quote from her acceptance speech at the Democratic National Convention was, "He's an unserious man with very serious consequences." And some people like his unseriousness. They like his not caring so much about the consequences, but saying, I don't believe in this, but a whole team of people that are supporting him are behind the things that we're very afraid of. The serious consequences, like Project 2025. And he's trying to distance himself from that just as hard as he can go by saying things that he thinks are popular things to say. But we're on to him. And the American people need to be on to him too, because he's had some serious consequences. And again, he kept going back to states' rights. So if you watched my video on states' rights, you will understand exactly why that is not a good idea. Now I'm noticing I'm shadowed in this video, but I'm gonna continue on with this and finish up real quickly here. The business about the cat and the dog in Springfield. In case you didn't know, I have researched that too. The cat was a neighbor, brought charges against her Haitian neighbor, surmising that the neighbor had killed and eaten the cat. It was something that the neighbor was embarrassed about, that it came out this way, because she never intended for it to have that sort of firestorm. And then Trump took that post, it was a post on social media, and turned it into they're eating cats and dogs and they're embarrassed to talk about it and all that. No, none of that happened. None of what was being said happened at all. So your words matter, and certainly when you're running for president, your words matter. So there were no immigrants that were taking over Springfield and having you feel like they're having banquets of cats and dogs. Didn't happen. Completely made up and disastrous in a communication of a presidential candidate's bid for the presidency on international television. Just such an unserious thing to say. And then Tucker Carlson is saying things in his remarks that are justifying him making fun of Kamala Harris, as he says he has done for years, because it brings him great joy. And this is the problem I'm having with people who do reward this adolescent behavior, which is, getting a laugh, getting attention based on other people's demise, right? So at other people's expense. So if that's what Tucker is making his career out of now, he's another unserious man with serious consequences. And that's Behind the Curtain IMO. I'm Betsy Jordan. Thanks for being here.